Hi, I'm Luke. I'm a general contractor, a small business owner, a real estate investor here in San Diego for the last 25 years. I have seen the good, the bad, and everything in between when it comes to building a home, building a small business, investing in real estate. And I'd like to share some of my experiences with you to help you maybe avoid some of the pain that I've gone through. And this is Building Up. I thought starting a business just meant you get a license and you just start doing what you're already doing. But I really didn't have the context of business being the larger picture. It was always the technician part, the technical part.
You're like, I could do this.
Therefore,
I could do this on my own.
Yes.
Not like, I could do this better and differentiate and be more remarkable so people will want to use me over XYZ.
Yeah. When I started my business, and I looking back, it's like, I guess I've been a serial entrepreneur because I think the first business I started, every kid has their lemonade stand or sells brownies or I don't know what.
I hated selling chocolate bars.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm definitely not going in business. I would eat them. I mean, I was good at consuming business stuff.
I think I was like, I don't know, 10 or 12 years old, and I was really into rollerblading.
I remember.
And there was a lot of little kids in our neighborhood. And they all thought, he's such a great rollerblader. So they would model what gear they got after mine. And, so they would see me working on my rollerblades and ask me to help them.
Did you sell a service?
So I started a rollerblade repair shop.
Oh my goodness.
In the neighbor's
I did not know
garage.
that.
And I would charge people for my old bearings and my my old wheels, or I would charge them to rotate theirs or lubricate them.
You rotate rollerblade
yeah.
wheels? I did not know that.
They get that because you're pushing out,
Oh, yeah.
They wear on the inside, so you got to rotate them, get more.
Yes, this is 2,000 miles. It's time.
Yeah, exactly. So I just remember thinking, hey, I'm good at this. I had everybody in the neighborhood wanted to model after what I was doing. And it wasn't a lot of money, but, I could charge. It was a source of income for sure, at least for a couple summers where, it was year round, but it was like when the kids were all home skating, I'd get a lot more business. And I remember it's how I saved up for a brand new pair of rollerblades, and it's how I paid for all my gear. And I just kept spending it all. I didn't invest and develop that business. But I really enjoyed that fact that I was like, oh my gosh, I can offer a service that I'm really good at and that it's actually kind of fun for me. And I can have, 20 kids paying me $5 a wheel rotation or whatever it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like.
Did you come up with invoices and stuff, or?
No, it was cash.
It's cash.
Cash right there on the spot.
Yeah.
But it's funny because even after that kind of tapered off, I started a tree trimming business.
I remember that.
With a buddy of mine.
Did you have to get business insurance?
See, that's the thing is I was young and I just thought, if people hire you, you're a business.
Yeah, you get the tools.
Yeah.
You put your flyers on windshields.
Again,
yeah,
just
how did you market yourself?
Yeah, that one was interesting. We actually we did hand out flyers, which then I got the post office telling me you can't put flyers on people's mailbox, which I didn't know.
Oh.
I think I was 15 when we first started doing this, and we did it for a couple years. So ultimately we ended up buying a truck, a bunch of chainsaws, but we were doing all the work ourselves. And I remember the Penny Saver. We put some ads in the Penny Saver.
Really?
But our main source of business was literally going door to door.
Okay.
Which is not my favorite thing, but it's like I knew I wanted to make some money, and I did like the feel of the sale. It's like, oh, we got one. And I think that opened my eyes to the importance of marketing, but I couldn't perform the job while getting jobs. And it also introduced me to estimating.
Oh, really?
You know, it's like
Because you had to look at.
every job was different. You know, with the rollerblade shop, I had a price list.
Oh.
And it was like, it's old stuff anyways, and it's just my time, and I'm just a little kid. So I'm not estimating. I'm just going, how much money do I want? And what are the kids willing to pay? But this was
Did
actually...
you raise your prices when more came? Like, did you, like when demand increased, did you like, oh,
I don't remember. I don't
Or
think I was
not, you weren't
that
that advanced
sophisticated
yet.
yet. Probably should have. But
Yeah.
the estimating side was what was kind of cool about the tree trimming business, and just understanding the overhead of it, like getting into all that was involved. Like, hey, we've got transportation costs, we've got this truck we're insuring, we've got fuel. You know, I mean, I think we bought the truck when I was 17, and we did at that point get a fictitious name and a business license, and we were going legit. But yeah, you start to realize there's a lot more to business than just getting out there and doing it.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that there's always that pull to business. And in the construction industry, I mean, a lot of people do side work, and they kind of know what it's like to market themselves and put a rough value to the job. But I think what ends up missing is the strategy part of it, the continuing to develop your systems. I mean, communication becomes a huge thing, storage of all of your, efficiency.
Like it just, yeah.
Well, and scaling.
Yep.
You know, the vast majority of small businesses out there are one-man shows. So they're not thinking about scaling. They're probably just trying to keep their head above water. And I think some of what it took me a long time with, focusing on trying to keep my head above water and growing a business was really, really a challenge, because you have the immediate need of like, I just need to go out and do the next job so I can bill it. But also, I need to not be in this boat a year from now. So what am I doing to develop systems while I'm in stride? And I think that can make your business grow slower because you're doing it.
It's like more methodical though. Like
Yeah, it might be. I mean, kind of like you were saying, you're going to take your lumps along the way. And so your lessons learned are reinforced by a little bit of pain. So it's not just a lesson in a book or a theory or whatever. You're actually experiencing that. So I think that part was cool, but I also feel like it probably took me twice as long.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I had gone to business school beforehand. Not that I've gone now. I've been running my business for 18 years.
I think honorary degree. I give you an honorary degree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your MBA, PhD.
Yeah. I mean, managing 15 to 20 employees and, doing the volume that we are doing and achieving, kind of the size. It's been through other executive coaches and mentors, and also just meeting with other business leaders. And there's a lot of exchanging of ideas, even among people that have the education and kind of that background, but have still not accomplished it. There's just always that, there's no replacement for a real life experience.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was a wake up call, because the first 5 years of Woolsey Construction, I just treated it like a job. It didn't feel like I was in business. It just felt like I was doing the same thing, but for myself.
Yeah.
Which I think is a trap for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, how that would be a trap. So the way that you see business development now versus how you saw it then, like what's the difference? Is it like it was more like about you, and now it's more about like this growing living organism of a business?
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt that I value resources of reference points and input more than when I first started. So I kind of feel like a hybrid. I think the first 5 years, I was just in survival mode, so I didn't seek counsel and I didn't look for input. And now, as I grow, I'm constantly looking for who's been there and done that before me. Let me go talk to them. Let me go hear how they did it. And a lot of the guys you talk to that are really successful guys, a lot of them did the same thing. They just rammed their head against the wall enough times until it broke. They broke through. But a lot of them had somebody or multiple people give them guidance and pointers along the way, and now they're kind of doing the same. I know that there's a lot of resources that they may have even fallen on deaf ears if I tapped into them back when I was 27 years old. But the SBA, they have a lot of information on their website of how to help formulate your business plan, how to get started on the right foot. They have some resources of people that you can even talk to, and I think, had I done that to begin with, maybe again, it would have been like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about and you don't listen. But I do think if people are thinking about starting a small business, doing it intentionally is so critical. Like just winging it doesn't feel good, and you're already at a disadvantage as a small business. I mean, 20 to 25% of them fail in the first year.
Wow.
50% of them fail in the first 5 years.
Yeah, I could see that.
By the time you hit 10 years, it's over 60%.
Yeah.
So it's like,
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. If you want a fighting chance, you have to think about developing the business first and not just going out and owning a job. You want to own a business.
Yeah. Well, that actually, my MBA helped me with that. Like that was actually like our thesis at the end was creating a business plan.
Oh, interesting.
So I had to work with a team and we created a business, and it was kind of cool because I got to be the team leader, the team captain. And it was my business idea, and it was actually starting a property management company. It's something that I knew well, but like to really think through it on my end, and make it remarkable and different from what I had done before.
Yeah.
And that business plan actually turned into a real business. I actually opened a business.
Yeah.
Not with my classmates, but
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was very well thought out, and it made sense.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool because I think the business plan side, everybody had told me to do that. You got to get a business plan. You got to do all this. And I'm going, what do you mean business plan? I'm just going to go build houses for people. Yeah, that's my plan.
I think people think like, oh, well, that's what you just like write up really quick to give the bank. So they give you money. Right. And it is, but it really makes you think through everything.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, you have to be realistic with yourself. Is like, is this feasible? Can you really make money?
Right.
Because you have to really do the numbers and the research.
Right.
And yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is I did none of that, and I honestly, that's partly why I wanted to talk about this is because I think if there's people out there that are new in business or that are thinking about starting a small business, it's not always all it's cracked up to be if you're not prepared. It can be a double-edged sword. It could either be really rewarding or it can, kind of suck the life out of you. And I think one of the ways to set yourself up for success is to consider, I never thought I would have to get into the legal aspect as much as I have, the financial aspect, the marketing. I thought I'm just going to build people.
Build and they will come.
Yeah, just build and then just the support systems that you start to realize that you need. And partly, you got to find out if what you have works. So get out there and make some money and then backfill some of these systems because you don't want to, unless you're going to start out with a huge small business loan
Yeah, which you don't want to.
Which,
Well,
I mean, it's a way to go.
Yeah.
But it can be also kind of shackles on you when you first start and you're playing from behind already.
Yep.
But, so part of it is, just get out there and see if what you have works. But I think, if you have a plan, you should be able to identify your target audience. Is there a need? What problem are you solving? And then I would look at, how are you going to scale it? Is it scalable?
Yeah. Yeah. Mine. So we have our property management company, and we just have slowly started buying houses and leasing them out. Luckily, the military helps us move often. So we're able to buy a house, live in it. I get to, do my little fixer-uppers on it, and then we move, lease it out. So it's interesting to, I guess we're scaling it that way, and now it's becoming a national business because that's the nature of our lives right now.
Right.
So, yeah, and the logistics of managing something cross country
multiple
is
properties
is the next challenge.
In multiple states.
Multiple states, yeah.
That can be tricky.
Yeah, it is going to be tricky.
So that's the thing is, like, as you map that out, even just with your business, as you kind of say, as I map that out to its full conclusion, like, we're 5-10 years down the road, we have 8, 12, whatever properties, and how does that scale then? And what role has that played in, like, how you determine where you buy properties?
So it has, actually, because I would love to have like a 5-acre piece of property with a cool house on it, but actually buying new construction in like a densely populated area. Well, right now we don't live in a very densely populated area, but it's an up and coming area. And so people are starting to get priced out of towns around and are willing to drive 25 minutes. So I can see it already, like this is going to be a good market to get into.
Gotcha.
And so, I think new construction, because one, we always like to buy something and have it ready by the time we move. And then it's ours, and we can, take that time while it's being built. And then when we show up, it's got the HOA, it's got amenities, people are drawn to those types of neighborhoods, and they like to rent there as well. So that's what we did in Colorado as well. So going to the next place, wherever that is, I'll look for that same, I guess, neighborhood, something that's new construction, something that it's a commutable little town or good location.
And then you don't have a bunch of maintenance on it.
It's brand new. Exactly. It's under warranty, for a year, but it's new. And and then people are usually willing to pay a little bit more for new.
But you have kind of that background and the experience to be able to do that market research, assess the viability of a market and a particular property. I think those are the things that I just point to with business development, talking to a lot of young guys that are thinking about starting their own business and just seeing how disconnected they are from what that actually means. And not that I want to discourage anybody from doing it. I just would love to see people be more successful. We need small businesses. I mean, small businesses employ almost half of the country's workforce. Yeah. So
it's very American.
Yeah.
To have a small business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool. And like I said, it would kind of make the world go round. So you want to see people be successful. And I just think there's so many people out there not going into it eyes wide open and doing their due diligence and doing the prep work. So I don't know, there's a lot of resources out there, and even going to school first and getting the degree and the understanding of what you're about to get into and knowing how to set it up well and, swing for the fences at that point.
Yeah, for sure. So like starting your business, did you ever have a fear of failure? And if so, I mean, I'm going to assume you're going to say yes, because everybody has a little bit of a fear of failure. But how did you overcome that?
Yeah. It's scary because you kind of feel like you're out there on a tightrope without a safety net, you know?
Over the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, I kind of compare it to like a little kid climbing up in a tree, and you're having so much fun climbing up the tree, and then you stop and you look down and you go, oh shoot, I'm pretty high up here, you know. And I've had that experience several times at different stages of my business, where you do kind of stop and go, oh, do I know what I'm doing? And I think that's when I've surrounded myself with more support. And that's why I think there's so much value to that, to the resources, to the mentors, to executive coach.
You can't do it on your own.
No.
And people who think I could do it on my own are going to be gravely mistaken.
Yeah, so I've been talked off.
It's like humbling.
Yeah.
You actually have to be like, I need help, or I want input.
It's very humbling.
Let down the pride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't have ego in it.
Yeah.
I think that's been part of what's been scary too, is like wondering people's opinion if I do fail, and like, oh, I didn't have what it takes and I couldn't hack it, and, you know, kind of feeling a little bit like you're an imposter, you know, like I'm not really a business owner, am I? But I think it was Alex or somebody, one of the
Alex Ramosi.
Yeah. It was like, there's no imposters. There's just sucking first. You're just not good at it. You're doing it. You're not faking it. You're actually doing it. Or maybe it was his wife. I don't know. But so I kind of have taken some like peace of mind, some like comfort in hearing other businesses and their just chaotic, you know, weaving path to get to where they're at. And they seem like they have it together now. And it's like, well, yeah, but I fumbled my way through too. And then somebody came along and said, hey, let me show you a couple tricks, a couple pointers. And it cleaned up the whole mess.
Yeah.
And then you realize, like, at every stage of growth, you're gonna have a new challenge. Like, nothing's gonna stay set forever. There's gonna be some new pain point.
Yeah, like, it's okay. Like, the ultimate failure is like, it's shuttered, right?
Yeah.
But like, I guess in business, all right, I'm listening to you talk, like, there's going to be many failures all over the place for the life of the business. But those are like the learning moments, and it's not the nail in the coffin.
Right.
It's
so
more
long
of
as
the like, okay, we got to pivot.
Yeah.
It's time to
chip in a chair, like poker, you know, you're still in the game. You still have a chance.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. When the doors close, that's when it's like, oh man,
failure.
Yeah. I've made a lot of mistakes, but all of them have made us better.
Yeah.
So if they don't take you out, then I think they only. I always say my education was very expensive. Because every time I learn, I could have paid for a degree, or, you know, I mean, that's just business, even with the degree. I mean, you kind of have to have a lot of guts to take a shot many times in business. I mean, I feel like it's just, you know, every so many years you're going, well, I hope this works.
Yeah.
And because you're going for growth, you're going to that next stage. And so you kind of go for broke a handful of times. And, sometimes it costs you quite a bit, to where, I mean, yeah, I've had some setbacks where I'm like, yeah, I could have paid for a handful of college diplomas and degrees at this point. You know, or at least I don't know if you don't get to buy them, but, you know, I could.
Can you ask for one? Can you call up like San Diego State and be like, I would just, is it possible?
Yeah, is it possible? Can I have one, please?
I would like a decorative piece of paper behind my desk.
Yeah. But I think that each time you have a reference point of a victory, though, it kind of emboldens you to like try again and keep going. And then there's sometimes where you wonder, like, why the heck did I do this?
Yeah.
Even before, whether you know it's going to work out or fail or not, you're just like, when you're exposed and you're really, really stretching yourself, as a lot of business leaders do. They got to really put themselves out there.
Yeah.
It can be, you feel a little bit raw and a little bit frayed. And so, when those seasons are over, it's almost like you recuperate from them.
But are you a little bit like an adrenaline junkie? Like
Well,
from all the highs and lows, right?
that's the risk.
Yeah.
Is you start to actually become addicted to intensity.
Yeah.
And the chaos. Mm-hmm. And I heard one business coach talking about the fact that a lot of entrepreneurs are from kind of chaotic backgrounds. Like,
you were 3 of 4 kids. That's
Yeah.
a chaotic background.
Sure. And so you end up learning a lot of survival techniques, and you end up learning a lot of problem-solving techniques, and it's what uniquely qualifies you to run a business, but it also makes you kind of create your own chaos. And it'd be great if I could eliminate that from my system. I think there's probably a lot of business owners out there that can relate. It's like when things are going great, you're like, okay, how can I shake it up?
Yeah.
I don't.
That might be the special sauce, though.
Yeah,
That might just be like what makes you better and grow. And
I agree. I think that's what makes businesses continue to grow. Like, at what point is enough? Like, these people grow these monster companies not because they're after the increased revenue and the increased profit and making more money and all that. It's because they know nothing else. They can't help but to continue to create and climb and innovate and tax their system, because without that feeling, there's kind of a sense of like, what am I supposed to do now? Mm-hmm. And so, yes, I think in business, you have to avoid seeking that intensity, creating that chaos unintentionally or subconsciously.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of putting it. Unconsciously.
But it's just, it happens. And I see a lot of business owners do it. And it's like the curse too is like the next new shiny thing. You haven't even completed this business or this project or this expansion or whatever, and you're already going, okay, well, that's boring now.
I'm like that with DIYs.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to put the baseboards back on.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're like, well, all the fun parts are
right.
over.
Yeah. The fireplace I built is done, and the tile, and
all the pretty parts are in. It looks cool, but what's next?
Yeah, baseboards, they're not fun.
Yeah. I think business owners are like that. I see it with a lot of guys where they're just they're off to the next thing, and they just like the buzz of starting something new. Mm-hmm. They like the buzz of the unknown, and just kind of that thrill. And so, I mean, I think
there should be an AA for you guys.
Yeah,
it's been 30 days since I haven't started a new business.
Right. Well, I think that it can spill into other areas of your life, and then you end up, you get some guys who are, extremists and into extreme sports, or you get people who are into substances, or you're medicating, you're numbing because you're just like, well, I either need to be doing something or I need to not feel anything.
Yeah.
That's the risk. And so you end up with like burnout.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a way to do it in a sustainable way, oriented way, just being intentional about your plan, having a system in place that you put your system in check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely big about like, how does your system feel about something?
Yeah.
And that
it's really easy to get it out of whack. And then you don't know, is it the business? Is it me? Is it my personal life? Is it my health? What's happening? And then you put too much emphasis and value and meaning on the business. And then you start to take your identity from it. And it's like, you can get lost in it, and then you don't know who you are without it. Mm-hmm. There's just, business is a beautiful thing, but it's a fun playground to learn a lot about yourself and other people. Mm-hmm. But it also can, suck you in. And so, I think as you're considering it and developing it, just having all these things in place, your plan, your systems to unplug, routine, rhythm of like getting outside of it and just being like, am I doing this because I want to throw myself a curveball, or am I doing this for the health of the company? Because ultimately, if you as the founder of a company or the leader of a company burn out, it hurts so many other people.
Yeah.
It can hurt the clients that you serve, the employees that, you know, are such a huge part of your team, but they can't do it without you. If you go down, the whole system goes down.
Yeah. So you have to really be intentional because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people depending on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say one of the biggest things that's changed or evolved in me in business has been, I used to just really rush into things or like rush into decisions or, say I knew something and I didn't know it, or not have the full picture and just go.
Yeah.
And I think now I'm very cautious. I look at the whole picture. I do a lot of research, and I'm very intentional about like what if I do this, what is it going to affect?
Right.
And I mean, mine's obviously on a very small scale, but I still think about that. Or just, even
here,
working for you.
Yeah, you play a big
working
part.
for you. I try to think about that. And it's not
important
just,
because you can't put unnecessary stress on the system. You have to think about the impact. When it's just you, I mean, when I first started out, I could make whatever decision I wanted, and it was just me, you know. And usually, it just put me even further underwater. It's like, I'm just going to do more. And then you start working 14, 16-hour days, whatever. I mean, really intense.
Yeah.
And there's a time and a place to do that.
Yep.
But
seasons for sure.
yeah. I mean, nothing gets started without, some serious effort up front.
Yeah.
But you should have a plan to not get stuck there. And I think that's kind of what happened to me in the beginning. It's just I got stuck there.
Yeah. So if you had whatever opportunity, if you had endless money and just you could do it, what would be a business that you would start? Would you be like Elon Musk and build spaceships? Would you, or like crazy cars? What would you do? Like,
No, I think I'm
crazy rollerblades. Like,
I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be in the real estate, construction, building, development, kind of that world. Because I still am passionate about it. I still love it. I love how many different people it takes to build a house, how many different industries even get touched, from engineers and architects to designers. You're dealing with the city, building departments.
lots of relationships.
Yeah, you're dealing with surveyors and, there's just so much. I mean, even real estate agents and just all of the different hands that go, play a part in building and real estate, the development side of it. So, I think I would just continue to do more of that and, create a place where there's a lot of opportunity for people to get engaged in that. I mean, housing is such a critical need, and we're always behind. So we're starting like a training program where we can kind of train within, recruit from within, and just really grow that system.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your human capital is one of the biggest assets.
Yeah, I just love the people side of it. I really do. I think that, the physical aspect of it is great. The rewarding aspect of like seeing something tangible, physical right there that, building standing where there wasn't one that never gets old.
Yeah.
But like all the different contributors to it, is really, that's my favorite part. And so I think any business that has to do with people, which one doesn't, I think I could get into.
Yeah.
Because what I've found at the end of the day, which is so funny, I started out as a technician, but now I'm a business owner. And what I've found is I love business.
Well, and you've actually encouraged me to explore using AI more. Like that's definitely a different development in business is leveraging AI.
It's moving so fast.
It really is.
It's going to be pretty interesting to see, how it helps and how it hurts too. I'm not sure. I think in our industry, it's like I don't see AI taking over swinging a hammer anytime soon, but
No.
it could make it easier and faster and more efficient to design and, get plans through.
Get through the permitting process.
Yeah. I mean, that could be nothing but good.
Yeah, that would be great.
In my opinion, if that could expedite that. But yeah, I think the future is exciting because there's a lot that is it's changed. Our industry's changed so much, and it seems like it's it's one that wouldn't change that much because it's it's bricks and mortar, concrete and wood. It's like all the building materials. It seems like this as old as time, thing to do, but the industry is changing. It's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah. Well, we've covered quite a bit. I know, business development is a huge topic, and we could really dive into some of the granular stuff here of like where to start, the key things. But this is kind of just an overview of what to consider.
Yeah, just kind of a story.
Yeah.
Like our story and how it evolves. I think like I like to say my theme of my story is just like keep moving forward and just keep looking for the forks in the road because they will be there.
Yeah.
You think you're on one path and then you're working in public housing and then you're doing hair to public housing to private sector to military. It's just all over the place.
I know.
To working for a construction company for my brother. It's like
just keep moving.
Yeah. It's the best.
Put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if there's some failure or if you hit a roadblock, you're still learning. You still have a reference point. It's
Absolutely.
not like you're done there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good talking with you.
Thank you.
If you have found this information valuable, please leave us some comments about the topic we discussed today. And if you know somebody thinking about starting a small business, maybe you could share this video with them so that they can have some things to think about and consider. And until next time, keep building up.